One of the things I've learned when it comes to food is that tradition and innovation are not mutually exclusive. Today I'm making a stuffed cabbage dish, lachano dolmades, a really traditional dish, but this one is inspired by my good friend Lefteri Lazaru. The first thing we're gonna do is get the core out of the cabbage and blanch it so that the leaves are nice and soft, malleable enough to roll. You wanna just cut at the base carefully because it's a little bit tough. And just get that core out of there. You might have to work at it a little bit. There we go. I've got some salted water simmering. I'm just gonna lower the cabbage in there carefully. Cover the pot. We're gonna get going on the filling. I'm gonna just heat a little bit of olive oil. We just wanna sear the shrimp. All this great shrimp liquid is gonna add a lot of flavor to the rice filling. We're just gonna cook the shrimp until they turn pink. I'm just gonna get whatever juice is left in here. We wanna get going on the rest of the filling, which is a little bit more olive oil, chopped red onion. Together with the onions, I've got some coarsely shredded carrot and chopped garlic. You wanna keep the garlic moving so you don't burn it. Next in, the rice, and I'm using a medium grain rice here. And I like to saute the rice, get it coated with the olive oil because that brings out this beautiful nutty flavor. And now we're pretty much ready to add some vegetable stock. And next in, crushed tomatoes. These are canned tomatoes. We're gonna get the wine in here next, and this is just a dry white wine. I wanna get a little bit of salt in here. It's time to get the shrimp in here. I wanna empty out all this beautiful shrimp juice first. Now I'm gonna coarsely chop the shrimp. I'm gonna turn this off and just stir in the shrimp. A little bit of fresh mint. You can use fresh or dried mint in this. And one last little secret ingredient, some lemon zest. Just get that mixed in here. We're ready for the cabbage. It's nice and tender. I want to do this carefully because it's hot, obviously. And I've got a bowl of ice water here just to cool it down. You don't want it to continue cooking. As soon as this drains, we'll be ready to roll because the rice filling is nice and cool. Let's see these beautiful leaves here. They should peel right off. Don't worry if some of them are torn. We're gonna make use of this entire head of cabbage. I'm gonna separate out the better leaves. Whatever's left at the end, I can just chop and add to the filling. Okay, I'm just gonna chop whatever's left here. I'm adding this to the filling, mostly so that it doesn't go to waste. A little bit of olive oil goes on the bottom of the pan. So what I'm doing now is finding kind of the torn leaves just to layer on the bottom of the pot so that the cabbage rolls don't come into direct contact with the flame. Let me just get a little bit of filling on here. Try to get a shrimp, at least one piece of shrimp in each dolma. So you start rolling from the bottom and you try to fold in the sides. And as you do that, you're kind of working all your fingers. You don't want this to be too tight. That's really important. You want there to be enough room for the rice to expand a little bit. You want to put the seam side down so that the roll stays closed. And we're just going to work concentrically. You want to be careful not to overstuff the leaves because as the rice expands, you don't want the leaves to tear. Get the sides in, and remember, use all your fingers, or most of them, and roll that up, seam side down. You just want to make sure they're snug. That keeps them from opening. The last one going in, and a little bit of extra virgin Greek olive oil, just for good measure. A pinch of sea salt, and a little bit of vegetable stock. You can also use water. We don't want to cover the dolmades. We just want to make sure there's enough in here so that they essentially steam. A little trick, we always put a plate over any kind of dolmades that we make, and we do that to keep the leaves from opening as this gently simmers. So this is going to get covered. We're going to simmer this for around 20-25 minutes until the cabbage and rice are tender and all that liquid pretty much absorbed. I'm ready to make the bechamel, and this is a little bit of an unusual recipe because it calls for olive oil and butter. As soon as the butter melts, I'm going to add the flour to make the roux. We want to make sure to cook the flour, and you want to cook it a little bit so you don't get that raw, pasty flour taste. So this is ready. I can tell because it's got this almost velvety consistency. And you keep whisking while you add the milk. The cream goes in next. And this isn't going to take very long to cook. Want to season this up a little bit. So a little bit of salt, a little pepper, some turmeric, and what really gives it the beautiful flavor, Greek saffron or krokos kozanis. And I'm just stirring this to help thicken it a little bit. Okay, this is done. So you basically want a really thick but loose bechamel. The dolmades definitely smell like they're ready. Let's get the plate out of here. It's hot, so when you do this, you want to be careful. Yeah, they look really beautiful. So let's get them out. I want to do this carefully. Well, they smell really great. I'm going to get a little bit of bechamel over this. Just adding a round of lemon and some mint. Let's taste this beautiful dish. Wow. It's really elegant, this dish. I got the beautiful seafood flavor from the shrimp. All of those very subtle spices are coming through in full bloom in the bechamel. The saffron and the turmeric just add this wonderful, exotic note. The sauce is rich. And I'm thinking, what would I pair with this in terms of Greek wine? It would definitely be a malagouzia, which is one of the oldest indigenous grape varietals in Greece. Beautiful citrusy flavors, a little bit floral, and it goes beautifully with rich seafood dishes like this. Isi Gian.